My grandpa was the first one to come to California, and when he came to California, it was about in the 70s. And he came to California from Saudi Arabia, and he loved it. He came on the basis of a vacation, actually, and then he loved it. He went back to Saudi Arabia after his vacation finished, and he went to my dad and he told him, "You're going to live in California, and you're going to live specifically in Monterey Bay." So that's when my dad, when he became, I think he was 17, 18, he moved completely to Monterey and he got a job in a restaurant. He was a waiter his second day being here. And then he worked in construction and then he worked in car sales. And basically, he's been doing car sales since then. So when he was working in construction, he actually met my mother, and my mother she lived in Lebanon. And so they decided to get married, and then she moved here in about like 1996. So immigration back in the day was super easy for Arabs and specifically, especially people from like Saudi Arabia, who were known as like the upper class Arabs, I guess. So it was much easier. But then when 9/11 hit, it became very hard for us to immigrate to the US for obvious reasons. Most people weren't able to come to the US. They weren't able to settle and get their citizenship. But immigration, when my parents came in the 90s, was fairly easy and actually was really welcoming. And they have good experiences with everybody they worked with and all their friends and families. And they really enjoyed it, actually. And then after 9/11, it just completely switched for them, and it kind of affected all Arabs' lives in America. So I'm born and raised in Monterey Bay. I lived in Seaside originally for about 10 years, and then I moved to Pebble after that. So I was literally, me and all seven of my siblings were born in Chomp and completely lived here our entire lives so far. My school experience was okay. I would say definitely my first, I want to say 12 years when I lived in Seaside, I went to like Monterey schools, and there was a lot of diversity in those schools. So I didn't feel really like left out or anything. I just felt like everybody's different and so am I? However, when I did move to Pebble, I went to Carmel schools, and Carmel schools are predominantly Caucasian. So I definitely felt like a little left out most of the time in those schools. Um, it's definitely a different experience going from a very diverse school to very little diversity. I was able to just, I don't know, mold in somehow, some way, and make it out alive. My parents are both Palestinian refugees. Um, and with that, they raised me to be a Palestinian woman. So we had different culture, different morals, different ways of life than the typical American family, for sure. The way that they immigrated, both of them, affected the way that they raised us as well because they wanted us to succeed. Both of them were big hustlers like their entire lives. They came here with nothing and built up to what we have right now. So I definitely say they also really valued education and morals and experiences for sure. And that's why we came out working hard and searching for a better future. So my work experience in California was really good, actually. When in the 90s, I believe 98, my father opened a car dealership here, and it's a classic car dealership. It's called Doty Auto Sales. And since then, it's been a family business, and we've all been working together, getting cars from all over the world and refurbishing them into beautiful beautiful car. We all work together to provide customer service and go out and look for cars and really refurbish these and realive them from their current state. We really learned a lot from this business, and we're able to work hard and create what we have now. My three favorite things about California are the beach, for sure, one, and the weather and the environment in general. I believe Californians are some of the nicest people I've ever met, genuinely, like living and growing up in Monterey. We just kind of got used to like saying hi to strangers, and I noticed that like in other states, truly like nobody really greets each other, and I think that that's so weird because like when I where I come from in Palestine as well, like we all greet each other, and it's just part of your culture to be like nice and friendly. If I ever had to leave California, I would move to Palestine for sure. It's funny because Palestine has basically the same weather, a beach, and everything I love in California they have as well. So, plus probably better food there. So I would move there. But sadly, we can't do that due to the occupation.